it is usually what begins most relationships. It takes what was, and in a brief moment of time, changes it forever. It is a kiss. Hello once again, I'm Don Jackson with a perfect show to begin a new year, because a kiss is usually the first thing we do with friends and loved ones when the clock strikes midnight on New Year's Day. Oliver Wendell Holmes said, "The sound of a kiss is not so loud as that of a cannon, but its echo lasts a great deal longer." I'm sure you will never forget your first kiss. William Cain, writing in the book The Art of Kissing, published by St. Martin's Press, asked that very question of people all over America. What resulted was the first national survey devoted to the art of kissing. 90% of the respondents had no problems remembering their first kiss. But a first kiss, as I've alluded to, can be the starting point of each relationship. You may have more than one first kiss that brings back fond memories. What was that old expression? Oh yes, kiss me, you fool. In the bittersweet love song, As Time Goes By, we're told that a kiss is still a kiss. A sigh is still a sigh. The fundamental things apply as time goes by. Fashions and fads may come and go, but the fundamentals, like a kiss, will never go out of style. There's a beautiful book of photographs by Bruce Wellick called A Kiss Is Just a Kiss, published by Harmony Books. It features photographs of people kissing through the years and from many different countries and cultures. In the introduction written by Tom Robbins, he mentions that in some way we are all drawn to watch others kiss. In fact, many of us may have learned the fundamentals sitting in a darkened movie theater, watching our screen idols embrace to share an intimate moment. And what of that intimate moment? A screen kiss is one thing, but a photograph of a couple embracing in public? Is that a form of voyeurism? In 1993, a retired couple in Paris took photographer Robert Doisneau before a judge to prove that he stole their private moment of youthful passion back in 1950. This photo would later be known as the kiss at City Hall. Today, with all the cell phone cameras, chances are even better that you will be captured if, for example, you're strolling the streets of Paris, the Champs-Élysées, and decide to share a kiss. Are your kisses ever too wet, too dry, too monotonous, too noisy? How long do the best kisses last? Should you always manage to keep your eyes closed? What's the best way to kiss someone for the first time? Those very important questions were featured on the back cover of the book, The Art of Kissing by William Cain, published by St. Martin's Press. In this book, and again I quote, all they need to add tenderness and technical know-how to all their kisses, from quick teasing pecks to complicated continental kisses. It contains practical, lips-on advice, including do's and don'ts, personal anecdotes gathered from the first coast-to-coast kissing survey, and a unique kissing encyclopedia that details the techniques for more than 25 kinds of kisses. You'll find advice on kissing underwater, ideas on what to do with your hands, rules for playing kissing games, plus safety tips for kissing in movie theaters and in cars. End quote. Now, this is an old book. It was published in 1991, so you might have trouble finding a copy at this late date. but I thought it an interesting way to begin a program about one of the most intimate forms of hello and goodbye at home, at airports and train stations, and for almost everything in between. The background music in this segment is by Mark Knopfler and is called Smooching. A kiss can be a comma, a question mark, or an exclamation point. A quote from a writer in the book Simple Abundance, a daybook of comfort and joy by Sarah Bon Brannock. And who knew there was grammar to be considered when bestowing a kiss? Our fairy tales are filled with examples of the kiss. One of the most famous would have to be the story of Briar Rose. We, of course, knew her better in this day and age as Sleeping Beauty. In the original story, a gala is planned to celebrate the birth of the daughter of the king and queen, but one of the 12 wise women is not invited to this celebration. Slighted, she appears as an ugly old crone and utters a curse that the princess will stick her finger on a spindle and will sleep for 100 years. Now, even though the king bans all spindles in his kingdom, there is still one in a room in the castle. The princess, of course, succumbs to the curse and falls into a deep sleep. The residents of the castle, including all the animals, are suspended in time. Over the years, a briar thicket encircles the castle and keeps most of the brave knights away from the sleeping princess. In the end, it is a prince who finds his way through the thorny enclosure and eventually up to her chamber. In one chaste version, it is just the prince's proximity that awakens her. The story we're familiar with, of course, needs a kiss to bring her out of her sleep and the castle's inhabitants out of their enchantment. Christopher Marlowe wrote of another kiss. Was this the face that launched 1,000 ships and burnt the topless towers of Ilium? Sweet Helen, make me immortal with a kiss. Eve in the Garden of Eden kissed a white rose, and it blushed so much that it remained pink ever after. The most powerful line in the film City of Angels is about Seth's reasons for wanting to be more than just an angel. I would rather have had one breath of her hair, one kiss of her mouth, one touch of her hand, than an eternity without it. But you also have to be careful because not all kisses are the stuff of dreams. This is called The Kiss by Sarah Teasdale. I hoped that he would love, and he has kissed my mouth, but I am like a stricken bird that cannot reach the south. For though I know he loves me, tonight my heart is sad. His kiss was not so wonderful as all the dreams I had. She wore a terracotta dress, and we stayed because of the pelting storm within the hansom's dry recess. Though the horse had stopped, yea, motionless, we sat on, snug and warm. Then the downpour ceased to my sharp, sad pain, and the glass that had screened our forms before flew up, and out she sprang to her door. I should have kissed her if the rain had lasted a minute more. A Thunderstorm in Town by Thomas Hardy. That's a kiss that can haunt a person for the rest of his or her life. We kiss one another no matter the weather. The darkened street was muffled with the snow. The falling flakes had made your shoulders white, and when we found a shelter from the night, its glamour fell upon us like a blow. clash of dishes and the viol and bow mingled beneath the fever of the light. The heat was full of savors, and the bright laughter of women lured the wine to flow. A little child ate nothing while she sat watching a woman at a table there lean to kiss beneath a drooping hat. The hour went by. We rose and turned to go. The somber street received us from the glare, and once more on your shoulders fell the snow. In a restaurant by Sarah Teasdale, and I thought that poem rather appropriate for this time of the year. What is the first act we do to usher in the new year? We go to those we love and care about to share a kiss. If you save the best for last and seek out the one person you plan to share the rest of the new year with, then you're likely to end up with a kiss that will soften the harsh blare of trumpets, but will cause more bells to ring in your head than any New Year's noisemakers around you. What a wonderful way to drive out any of the old spirits from the previous year that might still be clouding your mind. James Alexander Tom in Nuggets wrote, "A kiss is the jumper cable of the heart." An unknown writer described other types of affection, another form of a kiss, from some very unlikely sources, and I quote, "Close your eyes for a moment and think about the love that makes you sigh. I not only find it in the arms of my loved ones, but in the caress of a sunset, the kiss of the moonlight, and the gentle brush of cool air on a hot day." End quote. I'm sure you have felt the gentle kiss of moonlight on a warm summer's night. At times, we take the kiss for granted. In days long past, when the latest technology consisted of a sheet of paper, an inkwell, and a crude pen, a kiss was considered something to praise and cherish. I can just see George Gordon, Lord Byron, writing this in the flickering candlelight. They looked up to the sky, whose floating glow spread like a rosy ocean, vast and bright. They gazed upon the glittering sea below, whence the broad moon rose, circling into sight. They heard the waves splash, and the wind so low, and saw each other's dark eyes darting light into each other. And beholding this, their lips drew near and clung into a kiss. A long, long kiss. A kiss of youth and love and beauty, all concentrating like rays into one focus, kindled from above. Such kisses as belong to early days, where heart and soul and sense in concert move, and the blood's lava and the pulse ablaze. Each kiss a heartquake. For a kiss's strength, I think it must be reckoned by its length. This is the time of the year when you need lip balm to prevent chapped lips. Some years back, 47% of the men surveyed by Blistex said they prefer kissing on the couch, while only 18% of women agreed. And it might be surprising to discover that Shakespeare called the kiss comfortless. Do you know what is the easiest way to remove a lipstick kiss from your cheek? New Woman magazine advised dabbing it with a little cooking oil. And always remember this, by E.Y. Harburg. It's called Inscriptions on a Lipstick and written in 1965. To let a fool kiss you is stupid. To let a kiss fool you is worse. Do you know the inspiration for the Rodin sculpture, The Kiss? Francesca de Rimini was murdered by her husband because she was in love with his brother, Paolo. Their heartbreaking story was told in Dante's Inferno. Then I turned to them and began, Francesca, your sorrows make me weep out of grief and pity. But tell me this, in the days of your sweet romance, how and when exactly did love make you sure of these uncertain desires? And she said to me, there is nothing worse than to recall happiness in times of misery, as your mentor knows well. But if you really wish to know the very beginnings of our love, I shall tell you, although I can speak only through tears. We were reading one day of Lancelot in the clutches of love. We were alone and felt no shame. Often our eyes met across the page, and we blushed. But it was in one sudden moment that we were one. When we read that the longed-for lips were kissed by such a lover, he who would never then be parted from me tremblingly kissed my lips. Galeotto was the name and author of the book. We read no more that day. While the one spirit said all of this to me, the other wept so dolefully that I felt deathly weak with pity and fell down in a deathly faint. Judy Garland once remarked, "For it was not into my ear you whispered, but into my heart. It was not my lips you kissed, but my soul." Golden slumbers kiss your eyes. Smiles awake you when you rise. Sleep, pretty wantons, do not cry, and I will sing a lullaby. Thomas Decker's lullaby that the Beatles recorded as Golden Slumbers for their Abbey Road album. Don't believe in magic? As a child you did. What could be more magical than the kiss from a parent that could make a hurt go away? Speaking of magic, a kiss played a role in superstition too. Roberta B. Etter, in Tokens of Love, published in 1990 by Abbeville Press, wrote, "If you kissed for the first time under the new moon, that simple act foretold a wonderful marriage and good fortune." End quote. And one final kiss. George McDonald wrote this. It's called Sweet Peril. Alas, how easily things go wrong. A sigh too much or a kiss too long, and there follows a mist and a weeping rain, and life is never the same again. Alas, how hardly things go right. 'Tis hard to watch in a summer night, for the sigh will come and the kiss will stay, and the summer night is a wintry day. And yet, how easily things go right if the sigh and a kiss of a summer's night come deep from the soul in the stronger ray that is born in the light of the winter's day. And things can never go badly wrong if the heart be true and the love be strong, for the mist, if it comes, and the weeping rain will be changed by the love into sunshine again. And after the kind of winter we're having, I think we will all be waiting for the sweet kiss of spring. Good night, sweet dreams. I'm Don Jackson.